So trust, protecting your legacy. What is a trust? A trust is a fiduciary arrangement that allows a trustee, the third party, to hold assets on behalf of a beneficiary. And we always think about trust in terms of rich people, but you still have beneficiaries. Trusts typically avoid probate, which allows the beneficiaries to gain access to assets quickly than if those assets were transferred through the will. When there is an irrevocable trust, which may not be part of the taxable estate, there may be fewer taxes assessed upon death. And we are going to get into irrevocable trust as well. Benefits of a trust. The benefits of a trust include passing assets outside of probate, saving time in court fees, and reducing estate taxes. Trusts allow you to control your wealth. If you create a revocable trust, the trust assets remain accessible to you during your lifetime. You can designate how assets will pass to the beneficiary upon your death. Trusts allow you to protect your legacy, which includes protection from heirs, creditors. So here are the types of trusts. So there's a marital or a trust. This provides the benefits to a surviving spouse, part of the taxable estate of the surviving spouse. Bypass or B trust. This provides a credit shelter trust, which will bypass the surviving spouse's estate to allow for the federal estate tax exemption for each spouse. Testamentary trust. This is outlined in the will and created through the will after death. Funds are subject to probate and transfer taxes. Irrevocable life insurance trust. This serves two functions. It excludes the life insurance proceeds from the deceased taxable estate. It also provides the liquidity to the estate and the trust beneficiaries. Charitable lead trust. This allows certain benefits to go to a charity and the remainder to beneficiaries. Charitable remainder trust. This allows you to receive an income for time period and the remainder to a charity. Generation skipping trust. This allows you to use the generation skipping tax exemption, so trust assets can be distributed to grandchildren or later generations without incurring the generation skipping tax or estate taxes on the death of your children. Qualified terminable interest property trust or QTIP. This is used to provide income for the surviving spouse. When the spouse dies, named beneficiaries receive the assets. This trust is useful for second marriage context. This trust maximizes estate and generation skipping tax. Grantor retained annuity trust or GRAT. This trust is irrevocable. It is funded by gifts from its grantor. It is used to shift future appreciation on quickly appreciating assets to the next generation during the grantor's life. And then let's look at revocable. This is a living trust. It can pass assets outside of probate, meaning that it doesn't have to go through probate. You can still retain control of the assets during your lifetime, you or the grantor. It is dissolvable at any time and may become irrevocable at the death of the grantor. You can name yourself trustee or co-trustee, retain ownership and control over the trust during your lifetime, and make provisions for the successor trustee in the event of your death or incapacity. It can help you avoid probate. It is subject to estate taxes. It is treated like an asset during your lifetime. Irrevocable trust. An irrevocable trust transfers assets of the grantor's estate and out of the reach of estate taxes and probate. It cannot be altered by the grantor after it is executed. Once you establish the trust, you lose control over the assets. You cannot change the terms or decide to dissolve the trust. The irrevocable trust is preferred to the revocable trust when the aim is to reduce the amount of estate taxes by removing the trust assets from your estate. Because assets are transferred to the trust, you are relieved of tax liability on income that is generated by the trust assets. Knowledge check, SWOT for trust and wills plan. So what are your trusts and wills planning strengths? What are your trusts and wills planning weaknesses? What are your trusts and wills planning opportunities? And then what are your trusts and wills planning threats? Most importantly, that you definitely need a will so that any of your heirs or beneficiaries won't have trouble, getting at the assets. So that if it goes through the probate process or something like that, they won't have any issues, right? But since we don't always think that we should have a trust or will, I'm just going to encourage you to look this information up, research this information, make sure you have a good understanding of it.